Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, friends. It's time once again to dive into that tense, terrifying, yet always terrific world of the Twilight Zone. And today we'll be watching Season 1, Episode 11, And When the Sky Was Opened. I think I got that right. Friends, it sounds like a great episode, as they all have been, so there's nothing to it but to do it. If you could do me a quick favor, though, and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel, and it allows me to alert you next time it's time for a little Twilight Zone. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now. And now it's time for the 11th episode of the first season of the Twilight Zone, And When the Sky Was Opened. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. What do you have for us today, Mr. Zone?
This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
This is an amazing anthology. I haven't come across an episode yet that I have thought was bad. I think comparatively there have been ones I like more, but that's just because so many of them have been great.
An experimental interceptor. Recent history, a crash landing in the Mojave Desert. The ship with the men who flew her disappeared from the radar screen for 24 hours.
Really?
The Major Guard here?
Well, of course. He's here.
Of course.
Go on in. He'll be glad to see you.
Thank you.
Okay.
But the shrouds that cover mysteries are not always made out of a tarpaulin, as this man will soon find out on the other side of a hospital door.
That's so good. Just so tense from the jump. Okay, so we had crash-landed astronauts.
How you feeling?
Are you serious? You know, one more thermometer in my puss, I'm going to absent myself without leave from this establishment. Well, come on. What's it like in the outside world?
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, tell me about it.
Colonel, you don't seem like it's fine.
How do I look?
A little hungover, maybe? Oh, you got another one of those.
Light up here in the hospital. The doctor's orders.
Bill, something's happened. Something I just don't understand.
Go on.
He's a major, right? Uh-oh. Closed door session.
When did I leave here?
Yeah, well, don't you know?
He doesn't.
I don't know anything anymore.
Huh.
At 9:30 yesterday morning, I walked out of here.
Yeah?
Who did I walk up with?
Well, nobody was with you.
That's what I mean. You say nobody.
Well, in effect, it says those two intrepid voyagers into the unknown returned from the unknown in a slightly dented aircraft. Colonel Clegg Forbes and Major William Gart, taken just before their historic flight that ended in mysterious disappearance and crash.
Was there somebody else? Was there supposed to be like a third person? Because normally there was three in a...
You and me, and the X-20 taking off. About 4 hours up, we black out. And 24 hours later, we end up in a crashed aircraft in the desert.
Great shot.
Bill, there were 3 of us in that
I
aircraft.
knew it!
You and me and a colonel named Harrington. Now, look, he was 36 years old. He was my best friend. I'd known him for 15 years, and you'd known him for 5.
They made you forget him? They?
And we were the 3. And there were 3 of us when they brought us back here to the hospital after picking us up in the desert.
Really?
Yesterday morning, they discharged Harrington and me. There were 3 beds in this room. Yours and mine and Harrington's.
Why can't he remember?
I don't know anybody named Harrington. He wasn't on the crew with us. The X-20 carried 2 men. You and me. There's never been 3 beds in this room, only 2. Yours and mine.
Wow. I keep thinking I know the kid.
Look, I'll give you a breakdown chronologically of everything that happened as of yesterday morning.
Yeah, you tell me when it's different.
And you said Harrington, look after Forbes. He drinks too much. Those were your exact words. It happened. I know it happened.
Oh, I'm gonna let you have it, fresh punk kid.
There's Harrington.
Major Gart, the Colonel and I are gonna phone you from whatever bar we happen to be in at the time, and if...
Why don't you both get out of here and leave me alone? Let me suffer in loneliness all by myself, huh?
Look at this. Okay, then you went to a bar. Fantastic irritation.
Right, but your money's no good here. The drinks are in the house. I don't get to serve many celebrities.
Maybe.
Say, what's it like up there in outer space?
Well, it's like way out.
It's like way. Okay. That's what the kids are saying nowadays, right? Way out. Uh-oh.
Something wrong?
Oh, well, I'll tell you after I taste the beer. Happy landings, chaps. Wherever possible.
Where'd you go, Harrington? Uh-oh.
You sick, Ed?
No. I'm not sick.
Then what's up?
Got a very funny feeling. Whew, I never felt anything like this before.
Help us out a little bit, bud.
It's like I didn't belong here. Like if I was to let myself go,
You'd what?
like I'd disappear.
How many of those you had, Ed? So is that what he does? He lets himself go, and then, like, the world forgets him? I miss phone booths. Was that weird?
The residence of Mr. James Harrington.
Clegg. Yeah.
Come here. Huh? Please, would you come here quick? I just called home. Called my folks. My mom answered the phone.
Yeah.
Didn't know who you were.
And she said she didn't have any son named Ed Harrington. That's what she said, Clegg. And then I asked to talk to the old man, and he got on and kept telling me to get off the phone. He didn't want any practical jokester bothering his wife. He said he didn't have any son at all.
Well, I don't know. It's just a gag, maybe.
It's a terrible gag, dude.
This feeling I shouldn't be here. That none of us should be here.
This has to be built off of that 24 hours they missed.
We shouldn't have come back from that flight at all. Maybe somebody, something made a mistake.
Let you get through.
Good. You stay put. I'm going to get you a good stiff drink, all right? Take it easy.
So we're going to lose Ed. He's going to go back to the hospital, and the major's going to be gone. Chills. Holy hell. Is he still in there? No. Anybody see my friend? What friend? Oh, boy.
You got a beer here, honey.
This guy's doing a really good job with this performance. The swings that he's been doing.
Colonel Harrington, his beer, the beer he had in place of the one he dropped on the...
Wow.
I don't know what you mean, Colonel. You came in here alone.
Okay, so what's going on, everybody? Is the world's perception being manipulated, or is the Colonel's perception being manipulated? He's our narrator. He's unreliable. It's amazing how many reflective surfaces they use in this show.
Do you have any idea how many bars I've been to? How many motels?
Amy, please! I sent you that wire because I was getting discharged from the hospital this morning. And Ed and I were going to wait for you.
Do you remember Ed?
It was in the telegram.
What was?
I wrote down that Ed and I were going to get out this morning. Yeah, look. See, I'm getting out at 9.
Aye. Jeez, oh Pete's.
I wrote down that Ed and I were...
Ed?
This guy's doing a great job.
Don't you know?
I don't know any Ed. Who's Ed?
See, I'm convinced it's his perception because the major would have remembered Harrington too, right?
General, it's about Ed Harrington.
Who?
Ed Harrington, sir. You remember Ed? We're in your wing at the field, sir. We're with you 19, 20 months, sir.
Oh, boy.
This is a gag, isn't it? That's what it is, isn't it, Amy?
This is a gag.
Dude, stay away from that balcony.
That's where he is. He's still at the bar, isn't he? He's still at the bar!
Oh, never mind. We're in a bungalow of sorts.
Ed?
I appreciate this shot. They didn't need it, and they redressed the set for it.
Harrington!
Wow. Okay.
Ed?
God, this guy's doing such a great job.
Harrington?
I don't think we still have glass on the floor, everybody. Then again, that's probably not Dolby. That's probably, or Foley, excuse me, Dolby.
Please, Ed?
Great shot.
Ed?
Taking the crane all the way into the phone booth. Love it.
Seems to me I heard a burglar alarm somewhere.
I think he must be an illusion or something.
Oh, I know he's not an illusion.
How?
He's been yanked out of here. He's been taken away.
By?
Or something made a mistake. Let us get through when we shouldn't have gotten through.
He's going to look back in the bed and it's going to be empty. Oh, my God.
Gotta come back to get us.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Just like I don't belong.
Oh, no! I don't want this to happen! Phil, I don't want it to happen! I don't want it to happen! I don't want it to happen! Somebody get him! Somebody get him!
He's gone.
Colonel Forbes, somebody's got to help him right away.
Who?
Oh, my God.
Why, he was brought in here with me. Why, he was right over here in this...
Ooh.
Come ahead, Major. And I'll call.
Are we going to end with a newspaper that says all hands lost in the crash? Oh, my God. Why are they, I'm assuming someone's taking them. Why are they staggering this?
How are we fixed in this ward here?
Room 15 down here can take 3 patients, sir. It's empty.
Let's take a look.
Oh, my God.
Once upon a time, there was a man named Harrington, a man named Forbes, a man named Gart. They used to exist.
Oh, my God.
And as to the X-20 supposed to be housed here in this hangar, this too does not exist. And if any of you have any questions concerning an aircraft and 3 men who flew her, speak softly of them, and only in the Twilight Zone.
Oh, Rod. All right, everybody, we just finished watching the 11th episode of the first season of The Twilight Zone entitled And When the Sky Was Opened. And the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, and we just finished And When the Sky Was Opened, the 11th episode of the first season of The Twilight Zone. Another really great offering, again, powered by the performances that we've seen here. And this seems to be not necessarily sort of a trope of The Twilight Zone, but really one of its major strengths here is whenever they kind of put the onus of the entire episode on one actor. You know, whether it be like, you know, the 16mm shrine or, you know, again, our very, you know, where is everybody? You know, we have one, Only the Lonely, you know, all of the, is it Only the Lonely or The Lonely? We have all of these people, these actors that are driving the predominantly alone the action and the events of the episode. And again, we saw it this time with the Colonel. Really, really well done. And again, you know, it lends, that's the coolest thing about Twilight Zone is it allows your imagination to fill in the gaps. It is truly theater of the mind, you know? I mean, obviously, the creatives are going through an incredible process of really giving us like an immersion into the current storyline, and they're really not scrimping on any of the shots that they're taking for this episode either. It's very, very well done. I'm always so amazed by, you know, again, these are episodes that had to be produced very quickly because, I mean, the studios and everybody needed like literally a weekly offering. And so whenever I see anybody take the extra time to do something like a reflective shot, whether it be a mirror or a window or something of that nature, and you don't catch the crew in it, I understand these are professionals. They're not going to show you like some type of, blooper where you see like somebody in the background or anything like that. I'm saying that setting up these shots takes time. You know, if you remove the mirror from a couple of these and just have like the airmen talking to one another, you don't need to set up that shot. You know, it's a much easier setup for that shot, I should say. But, you know, using these reflective surfaces, that's one thing that I think is, again, it's the kind of like the hallmark of somebody that's going the extra mile. And I appreciate, and I think that's another one of the ingredients in the recipe that is the greatness of the Twilight Zone. You know, the incredible, stellar, almost singular performances powering specific episodes, and then the director and the camera operators really going the extra mile to give us these very different, unique yet organic shots that we're seeing. You know, the shot where he came into the bar crunching over the glass that was on the ground, I kept thinking that there was a Foley operator in there. I thought, dude, enough with the glass. He's well past that. And then I realized it was ambient pickup. And I'm like, oh, well, screw me. I don't know what I'm talking about. But that crane shot that followed him in and then into the telephone booth as we got like a eagle eye view of it, really, really well. And they might have even put a track on that, which would have been crazy, which, again, just that I'm pretty sure it was probably a crane, but it could have been a track if they used something like that before too, and in the earlier shot at the bar. Really well done. But again, these are all things that take time. You're adding time, you're adding difficulty levels to your shoot. And the idea that you want to do that, and you do that, means that you're executing a vision that is beyond the generic, beyond like, you know, and again, there's nothing wrong with, you know, we've seen plenty of episodes like the original series of Star Trek, you know, where they have almost pre-positioned spotted shots on the bridge and things like that. And that's just for ease of use, you know, to make sure, hey, we know this shot works, we can use it again and again and again and again. That's the hallmark of almost any show out there, you know, whether it be, you know, a situation comedy like Friends, they know where to place the action for lighting, for all that good stuff. But again, whenever you see something that is decidedly different, you know, a unique take, something that your mind goes, oh, that's a new shot, I haven't seen that before. That means the director did something out of the ordinary. The director decided to go a different route, you know, whether it be a camera operator who also kind of embellished certain things. We've seen that before too, and that is an incredibly, it's to me, that's when you have a stew of creativity, you know, where the writers throw in the initial stuff, you got the actors throwing in their stuff, you got the creatives behind the camera throwing in their stuff, and we see it all come together in a really fleshed out, really kind of a very tight story that has a lot of depth to it, and that's really, really awesome to me. And, you know, again, just sandwiched with Rod's incredible narration, you know, where he provides so much using so little as far as his, you know, his actual narration. You know, the speculation too, the funny thing about the Twilight Zone is the speculation is half of the fun. Even more so, I would say, you know, because they don't have to answer any of our questions, not when they know that the non-answering is going to keep us in turmoil, keep us tense, keep us thinking about it. It's brilliant. It's brilliant storytelling at the top of its game, because it's being impacted and affected by so many different kind of cooks in the kitchen, yet it's not losing its impact. It's maintaining that level of fear, that level of confusion, that level of speculation that we have whenever it's all over. It's, again, I'm not saying anything profound. This is a 60-year-old series, you know, that everybody has done an incredible, almost 70-year-old series that everybody has done an incredible job with, and people have, you know, admired for years. My dumbass is just getting here now. It's just so, it's such a breath of fresh air, really, to just see old school filmmaking, you know, in action, and to see it work, to see it really, really work. I'll ask this because there's really no answer to this, you know, so did they go up? And again, there's so many possibilities for what happened. So they went up into space, and apparently they got past somebody that they weren't supposed to get past during that 24 hours. At least that's what they alluded to, that they weren't supposed to be here, that they made a mistake. And, you know, I often think, you know, is it an entity? You know, did an entity divert them? I think of like the original Planet of the Apes, you know, was it like a time thing, you know, where they up there for what they thought was 24 hours, but was much longer, you know, or something like that. You know, was it some type of like natural, like scientific phenomenon that was up there? Or was it actual like aliens that, you know, had abducted them, or they got passed, or they had to remove? It just seems so interesting. It almost, again, it could be something on the other end of the spectrum, something like spiritual, you know what I mean? Like they escaped death or something like that. I just think it's so crazy how many possible directions you could go in. It truly is a wonderful show. It is a joy to watch because, again, I always mention it. You never know what type of story you're going to get, but by God, you're never disappointed, no matter what the setup is. You know, I could not like a specific genre, but if it's presented in the Twilight Zone, I'm going to be riveted, even though it might not be something that's my cup of tea. You know what I mean? And I think that is, again, one of the other kind of table legs of what creates a classic example of what true filmmaking can render in the early television age. Absolutely awesome. I'm trying, and I sound so effing profound, you know, and I don't mean to sound like that. I'm in awe of the performances that we've seen so far in the construction of this series. And if anything is even remotely like this going forward, it's going to be a hell of a journey, friends. Thank you for being a part of it. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and it allows me to alert you next time it's time to journey into the Twilight Zone. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and now it's time to say goodbye from the Twilight Zone. And normally, in our other series, we say goodbye from somewhere inside of the episode we just watched. We return to a scene. It's our reward for being the Greek chorus and being a vitally important part of the narrative. You know, we're the audience. We share the tale and hopefully bring in new audience members. But with the Twilight Zone, we're doing something a little bit different. We're saying goodbye as a result of the Twilight Zone episode that we just talked about and enjoyed. And so, my friend, what we're doing here now is, where do we say goodbye from as a result of the Twilight Zone? Where do we say goodbye from, my friend? I'm here by myself. I wish I had a friend around to be able to, like, put us somewhere. I just feel like, I don't know, we don't belong in this ending. Do you think that? Who am I talking to? I had a friend here, I think. Didn't I? Didn't I?